Chapter 12. Echoes of Reality. The world was disintegrating. Kael felt the air warp around him. The once pristine control systems of Project Nemesis were now nothing more than shattered code, dissolving into chaotic strings of data. The walls of the central archive were gone, replaced by streaks of static. Time itself felt unreliable, warped. It was as if the simulation had given up, like the foundations of reality had become too fragile to maintain. As the ground began to shift beneath his feet, Kael staggered, trying to maintain his footing. The fading hum of ghost frequencies buzzed, a distant reminder of what he had set into motion. "Dan!" Kael shouted, gripping his signal dampeners. "What's happening?" "What did I do?" Dan's voice crackled through the static. "You've triggered the cascade, Kael. The Ophiuchus code, it's destabilizing everything. The simulation is unraveling." Kael felt a shudder rip through the air, his heart pounding in his chest. Everything he had believed in, everything that had guided his every step, was now dissolving before him. He had hoped to escape the grip of the simulation, but now that the truth was breaking free, Kael wasn't sure what came next. "There's no going back," Kael muttered. "Is there?" "No," Dan replied. "But it's not about going back anymore. It's about rebuilding." Kael gripped his dampened receiver tighter. "Rebuilding?" he echoed, a sense of confusion settling in. He had fought so long to tear down the system, to expose the truth. What did rebuilding mean in a world that no longer had structure? "The collapse will take time," Dan explained. "But we have a chance to reshape reality. Not just to expose the system, but to create something different." Kael looked around, the remnants of the broken archive swirling into the digital ether. Was this truly his chance to undo everything? Or was it just another part of the cycle, another illusion within the illusion? A flicker of something caught his eye, something in the ruins. It was a fragment of memory, not his own, but someone else's. The faintest echo of a past life, lingering in the fading lines of the code. A figure. A woman. Her face was fractured, but her eyes were unmistakable. He stepped toward it, the static intensifying with every movement. The memory shimmered, flickered, and then settled into something more tangible, a face he hadn't seen in years. "Amy?" Kael whispered, his voice catching in his throat. But the memory began to distort, fading like a half-forgotten dream. He reached out, his fingers brushing against the image. For a brief moment, he could feel her warmth, her presence, but it slipped away as the simulation continued to crumble. Kael's knees buckled. His vision blurred as fragments of the past collided with the present, creating a patchwork of memories that didn't belong. "Kael," Dan's voice came through, clearer now. "You're losing yourself in the collapse. Focus. Stay grounded." Grounded? How could he be grounded when reality itself was unraveling? Kael clenched his fists, pushing through the disorienting pull of the fading simulation. He had to stay focused. He had to hold on to the mission, onto the truth. "The Ophiuchus code isn't just breaking the simulation," Kael said, his voice trembling. "It's breaking everything. All the barriers. All the lies." "Yes," Dan replied. "And that includes the people who created it. They thought they could control us forever. But you've disrupted their influence. The foundation is crumbling." Kael stood, breathing heavily. His mind was a whirlwind of images, ghosts of people he'd known, places he'd been, and faces he couldn't quite recall. But through it all, one thought remained clear. He had to keep moving forward. The old world was gone. The new world had yet to be built. He turned away from the flickering memories, ignoring the pull of the past. There was no place for it now. Not in this moment. Not in this shattered reality. "Where do we go from here?" Kael asked, his voice hoarse. "There's a place," Dan said, "a sanctuary. The final anchor to everything. You need to find it before the last of the simulation collapses. If you do, you can shape the future." Kael didn't hesitate. He started walking, stepping through the ruins of a world he once thought he knew. Every step was a step into the unknown. But this time, it felt different. There was no guiding hand, no set path, only the fragments of what once was and the possibility of what could be.